What's up, guys? Mr. Knows Hoops back today with another video. And today, guys, this is finally the collaboration with someone very, very close to me as a homie, the DreamHoopz. We talked over Discord. I was able to get the audio extract, thank God. And we did our top 10 list. I messed up my top 10 in the middle of the video. I mentioned it. So I talk about Jason Tatum as if he was in my top 10. He is not. He would be my 11 or 12. I messed that up because I had forgotten a name, but I talk about that in the video. Thank you all so much for your support in the last video. We gained, I'm pretty sure, almost 10 new subscribers, and we're 70 away from hitting our goal of the next 100. So go ahead, leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, guys. This is Mr. Knows Hoops. Without further ado, enjoy this video. It's a little bit longer. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. So have a good one, guys. Peace out. Guess let's just get it started. Okay, so Dream, who do you have at number 10?
At number 10, I ended up with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, I felt like he had a pretty, up and down year, I'd say. Pretty up and down year. I feel like, to begin the season, he started off really hot.
Incredible.
Right? Like,
incredible.
We talked about that. He started off really hot, right? Like to the point where, like, I even had a video. Is he potentially top 5 right now?
Yeah, you and I both.
Yeah. And then it took a little decline by December, and then it was like, oh, this is looking like the Tatum of last year, right? Just by his overall stats, but he still ended up averaging like 30 points, 8 rebounds,
yeah, like it's still
4
good.
assists. Yeah, and then in the playoffs, again, it was more of the same, right? So that's my main problem with Tatum. The inconsistency. It's something me and Amster always talk about behind closed doors when we're not on YouTube.
Facts. Join the Discord. You'll find out.
Join the Discord. Yeah, we're plugging it right there. Join the Discord. Because if you just look at the overall stats of Tatum for the playoffs, he averaged 27 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Like, great, but like, I think the efficiency, him as a scorer, just wasn't there. Just right around league average. So again, he's a good defender too, but I don't even want to get into that.
No, we don't.
How good?
If you know, we don't gotta.
Yeah. So, but I have Tatum at number 10 for this year. He finally cracked into my top 10.
He also just cracked mine. I guess for reference, I don't know if this will be my intro that I'll record later or whatever, but Dame did not make my top 10. He's probably 11. Probably 11 for me. If next year if he plays, not even the full season, if he plays like 60 games, and if he's in the playoffs, obviously with Miami or wherever he ends up going, he'll probably be back in there. But I also had Tatum at 10. I think it's just that time, to be 100% honest with you. I think it'd be disingenuous to take Dame just off the name value versus like what he's actually done. You know what I mean? And then coming in at number 9 for me, I have Jimmy Butler. This is very much a conversation everyone has in our Discord about Tatum and Butler.
Yeah, you got Jimmy top 10.
I do. Now, part of it is for sure Chicago bias a little bit. Never forget where your roots are. But for me, my thing is that, well, I think Jimmy scoring-wise also has those inconsistencies that Tatum does. I think everything else that they bring to the game, Jimmy just does it better. Well, I think Jimmy's a better passer, better playmaker, and I think you would agree with this for sure, Dream. I think he's the better defender of the two.
Yeah, I agree.
Jimmy's arguably a top 5 guard at his position, like a defensive player at his position. Like, it's crazy. Like, Jimmy is so damn good defensively that, like, to me, it's like, yes, Tatum should be the better offensive player, right? Like, you would agree there too, I think, Dream. The scoring versatility and everything, Tatum has it, right? Like, he is a better 3-ball.
Yeah.
He's just a bigger, literally a bigger player, but he doesn't really utilize it properly. So I can't really give you something that you should have versus what you're actually having and what you're actually doing. So who do you have at number 9, Dream?
I actually have LeBron James, and this might
Mm.
be a heavy name because with a lot of people, this man's been number one for the longest time, top 5 probably for the
Yeah, top 5
longest.
lock. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So it's pretty surprising he's fell this far, but we have to start just coming to the realization LeBron James is 38 years old. All right, it's just about that time. He's just also he just doesn't have the same impact. One of the things that we talked about, and it's one of the reasons why the Nuggets were able to beat them, and I always reference this, is that LeBron just doesn't get to the rim as much anymore.
No.
And yes, you can also say it's because of the athleticism, or if you want to say it's because of the foot injury, whatever reasons you want to use. Like when he just shoots too many threes at this point, like
Absolutely.
way, way too many threes. And I always reference that game 2 against the Nuggets when they literally had them right there, a Jamal Murray led unit in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
LeBron James shoots 4 straight threes back to back to
And
back
just,
to back possessions, and it completely shifted the tide to the Nuggets' favor. And those are just some instances of what LeBron would do at this point in his career. Now, I still think he's a very impactful player, right? I got him at number 9.
Relative to other people, yeah.
Yeah, relative to other people, he's still number 9, but to the other 8 that I have above him, I think have better arguments to LeBron. But still, I'm gonna give him his credit. I'm gonna put him at number 9. I just don't think Tatum has gotten better than LeBron just yet. It might be this next season, who knows? But at this point, I have LeBron at number 9.
Yeah. And then I want you to go ahead and give us your number 8.
All right, and at number 8, I actually went with his teammate, Anthony Davis. The reason why I went with Anthony Davis is one big word: defense. And Anthony Davis was manning that Lakers just completely. Averaged 3 blocks in the playoffs. His rim protection was just absolutely sensational, especially in those first 2 rounds against the Memphis and the Warriors. And AD was just a complete monster on that end, right? Probably to me the best defender in the world. And on offense, of course, he's just not the same as he once was. He just needs somebody to help him score at this point.
Yeah, that meme was crazy. Of the one night he's dropping 40, and then the next 12.
Like bro, that was legit real, bro. You gotta put that editing like at that part where literally like one game like 40, 30, next game 12, 30 again, then like 16, like he was just so up and down with his scoring, and it's one of those things that offensively,
and it hurt the Lakers for sure.
And it did, because you saw those are some of the games they won or lost, right? It was dependent on what he gave on offense.
Yeah, and I agree. So for me, since I had Tatum and Jimmy at 10 and 9, I have LeBron and then AD. So LeBron is my number 8, AD is my number 7.
Okay.
I agree with you. I still think LeBron is better than Jimmy and Tatum right now. I think the bigger thing isn't even about if Jimmy or Tatum get better. It's a matter of, does LeBron get any worse? Like, does he show more signs of age and and I agree with you. I think also doing the foot injury thing is like, yes, I get you, but you also then played an entire 3 series. Like, it's kind of hard for me to sit there and go, how debilitating was it when and my other thing is like LeBron defensively, a lot of people will say it's effort, but I think we noticed in that Grizzlies series when he put in defensive effort, that man was gassed. So
it made him gas on offense too.
Yeah, like he just gasses out way easier. And again, this isn't saying LeBron's bad. Again, it isn't. The top 8, 9 player in the league is not bad. Like that's incredible. But it's just compared to himself and compared to others, I just don't think he is up there anymore. So then, Dream, you gave us your 9, your 8. Who's your number 7?
At number 7, I have. Let me see. Number 7, Kevin Durant. I had a number.
Okay.
Number 7, I have Kevin Durant. Again, the things that hold him back too, it's health. Man only played 47 games this year, Amster, and then when you include the playoffs, it doesn't even have him get to the 60 games mark for the entire year. So injuries have really hurt KD. I still feel like KD's still one of the best scorers in the league. A pretty good defender as well. What holds back KD is just we have to get to the point where what is wrong with KD outside of Golden State in the playoffs? Because it's becoming a more routine thing with him now at this point. We had Boston series last year. He had a great playoffs against the Bucks in 2021, which is the year he was people were having him as the best player in the world, him and Giannis. But you know, and then this year as well. I mean, to his standards, and when you compare it to the regular season, his impact dropped. So to me, I think KD is still at 7.
Yeah, what's funny is so I forgot a name in my top 10.
Oh, you did? I was starting to realize. I'm like, oh, maybe you forgot a name.
I was sitting there. I was looking it over. I was like, wait, why is this guy not? No, wait. So Tatum falls out of my top 5, guys, because I
falls out the top 10.
I gotta hold you guys. I totally forgot about Luka. I was reading my list and I was like, this doesn't seem right. So basically I have Jimmy at 10, LeBron's at 9, AD's at 8. I also have KD at 7. My number 6 is the current MVP, Joel Embiid. Because to me, my thing with Embiid at this point is it's the postseason. Like, whether he gets hurt or whether to just be 100% honest with you, I just think he isn't as good in the postseason. Like, at some point, we just have to hold him accountable to that. You're just not the same caliber of player in the playoffs. Like, and my issue is too is like he's an incredible defender, Dream. It's just the effort isn't always there.
Yeah.
It's like we were watching these series, you know, and Brooklyn, right? Like they found a way to limit him as a scorer. Brooklyn, right? Like, and then in Boston, Al Horford is one-on-oneing you, and then defensively, you did great rim pressure wise. But even then, there were moments where you just had lapses. So to me, I have Embiid at 6. I'm gonna get a lot of people hot with who I have over Embiid, but it is what it is. You know, we move.
You know, I could say who I have over Embiid. I have Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
I have Kawhi Leonard. Again, I know people, right? They're gonna be like, "What? Kawhi doesn't play games again." I get it. If you're heavily taxing for health, I can get why. But when we're looking at when these guys are healthy, when they're actually playing games,
that man.
I think it's you have to give him his credit, right? Like I just looked at this. The last 35 games he played in the regular season, where I say he was Kawhi Leonard, averaged 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 52 from the field, 46 from 3 on 5 attempts. And then playoffs, just my goodness, I'm saying you already know.
It's obscene, bro. 60% from 3, 60.
Yeah, 60 from 3, 54 from the field, 34 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Yes, it was only 2 games, but when Kawhi Leonard is healthy and playing, I think he's still a top 5 player in the world. But that's the problem. It's the health, and I know I get it.
I almost had him at 4, but I had to put him at 5. I had to take him somewhat account of when he's healthy.
I had to take into account of that. Like,
I agree. I also think
number
Kawhi,
5 I have him.
I think Kawhi's underrated too as a playmaker now at this point in his career. I think Kawhi's actually gotten better as a passer playmaker with this Clippers team. Watching because unlike KD, that man can handle a double team. He can actually pass out the double. He can make the right read. I'm not going to sit here and say he's LeBron, obviously. He's not that level of a passer playmaker. But I just don't think he's like, if he's not scoring the ball, it's not like, the ball's just dead. No, like, those 2 games he played too, I ain't going to hold you. If he played that whole series, even if the Clippers lost, Kawhi Leonard was the best player on that court. Like, I think it was pretty evident
I'm gonna be honest with you, it was looking like they probably would have won it because I had the Suns beating them in 5, even when Kawhi was there.
I did too, and
and it did not look like that those 2 games that he played.
And that's why the Clippers are an extremely interesting team going into next season.
They are, man. It's such a health with that team. Is Paul George gonna be healthy? Kawhi, it's like them too. Can they be healthy?
Yeah,
that's the biggest question. It's a sad thing, man. Each year it's been injuries for them. Like other than 2020, that's the only year they were like healthy.
Yeah.
And other than that, they just haven't had a healthy postseason.
And then number 4, I have Luka. I think as great as Luka is, there's something very interesting to me also that I think a lot of people don't mention, but Luka is always brought up in the MVP conversations. And how, like, if you think about it, right, like, people often mention how poor, Luka's team is, or like his teammates. But Jokic, I mean, we saw Jokic, right, without his 2 best players, right, like, win an MVP. Like, I think there's just clear limitations to what Luka does. And I think Luka defensively is obviously just, I mean, I don't even want to get into it. Now, I'm sure people in the comments are going to get tweaking about the defense, but I'm not even saying you got to be all NBA, but my brother, effort. That's all it is, bro. That's all I ask. Just effort. Put up your arms.
He doesn't put effort. That's a problem with Luka's phenomenal offensive player.
Incredible.
It's just there's still 2 glaring weaknesses. It's him being able to play without the ball and defense. It's what really holds him back from, I feel like, putting him in that top, even thinking of him being the best player in the world. I don't think it's, even though he's at 4th. I just think there's a clear gap between all those other guys and himself.
Yeah, and then for me, number 3 is Steph Curry. Now, if you know, Giannis lost on my birthday. That was a very hard thing because I was a big Giannis supporter, and on that day I tried to not support him on that day. That just hurt. That just hurt me, And then, man, but I'm not gonna lie to you. As incredible as Curry's been, I think that second round showed you though, like there was limitations to what he can do.
Yeah, that second round was
Just like, I'm not saying it's to Giannis's level, obviously, because Giannis has limitations that Steph just doesn't have. But we saw, right, like, when Steph is kind of forced to just be the primary dude, and there's not a whole lot of offensive help around him, it could get a little tough. Obviously, he's incredible, and last year he showed he could win as the number 1 guy, like, purely. Not saying he can't, obviously. But I think we saw his limitations as a scorer. Who do you have at number 3, Dream?
Number 3 for this, I had Giannis, but I've been pretty consistent about Giannis. You know what I mean? Still has an argument to be the best player in the world.
For sure.
We can get into this right now. I've already talked about it before. I don't like the conversations that's happening with Giannis recently.
I don't either.
I get it. I mean, yes, he underperformed against the Heat in the first round. Again, we do have to add context. It was 3 games, but these are limitations we knew about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, these are things we already knew.
These were his limits. Yes.
We already knew these were his limits, and people were having him as the clear best player in the world. So I don't see why him losing in the first round completely negates everything else.
I agree. And I ain't going to hold you either. If you just looked at the shooting splits, at least, aside from the free throws, this was arguably his best series against the Heat in the games that he actually played.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not excusing losing in the first round. But when you play basically 2 1/4 of a 5-game series, right? Like, and part of it is on him because they did blow the leads. They did.
Yeah, 15-point leads in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you got to be better, like, no doubt. Like, but to me, my thing is I think Giannis is far and away the best two-way player in the world. Like, as offensively limited as he is, I mean, I think Giannis, I think you'll agree with this, Dream. I think a lot of people underrate Giannis as a playmaker. I think a lot of people really do think that all he does on offense is just run and dunk. And he doesn't do anything else. And I think it's very disingenuous to him. And then I think he's not the best defender in the world, of course. But he's arguably top 5, top 3. So for you to be that high defensively, and for you still to be one of the best offensive players in the game, like, for me, I have number 2, Nikola Jokic. I think Jokic. It's funny, Dream. A lot of people give it a couple years. If Jokic doesn't win another championship, they're going to treat him just like Giannis. Because I think they're very similar players that a lot of people don't want to acknowledge in terms of, like, insert player name, play style can't win you a championship. Yeah. And people are already trying to discredit the Nuggets, just like they tried to do it with the Bucks, in terms of, well, look at who the Nuggets had to play, seeding numbers, all that. And then the Bucks, right? It was, well, the guys are hurt, and it's like, well, they played who was in front of them, and they won the championship. They showed objectively their play style can win. Like, to me, and I think you'll agree with this too, these top 3 to me are clearly the top 3. I don't really think there's another name.
That's why I said that. That's why I said I don't see the Luka and the Wolves beating this at all.
I don't either. I don't think there's anyone else that it really has just outright shown to me, like, yeah, I'm in this level. Like, it's funny too, because these top 3 guys are the dudes who have won the last 3 championships. Like, I think, like, I mean, I have Giannis at number 1. I don't. Dream knows this, and you'll know this too if you're in my Discord. I've never believed he's a unanimous number 1. I don't think we're gonna. That's true. We're never gonna have another unanimous number 1 for a long time. Like, unless Victor Wembanyama.
You never know. I was gonna say, what if Giannis gets a mid-range jumper? You never know.
Oh, sure. Wasn't Ben Simmons?
Yeah, the Ben Simmons, the jump shot, bro.
What if Jokic gets David Robinson training and becomes the greatest defender ever, and if Curry grows another foot and just is able to slam jam on everybody and shoot the 3? I don't know. I mean, I guess. But I really wanted to thank Dream for coming by today.
Of course, man.
You know, Dream's a homie, an OG. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll be sure to link it. I'll try my best to pin comment. I'm terrible at remembering pin comments. But I just really want to thank you all. Peace out, guys.